Hello and welcome into the SorareAndrews podcast brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined today by Andy Black, as always. Black86 on the Twitter, Black on Sorare. We had another guest. Well, let me say this. I feel like we rickrolled people a little bit here because we were like, hey, Chani's coming on. And something came up and Chani could not come on. And you were like, well, obviously we should just call TrippinB. And I was like, man, that's a great idea. And TrippinB is like, I'm not sure I can make it. I'll make it. We're like, all right. And so TrippinB was here, but not with you guys. But he's coming back, we think. But it's just kind of how we have to roll the summer here, Andy.
You know, Trippin's been on the show before, just not with me. He was a guest host at one point in time.
That is true. And he was also a fill-in for Sam Ty on Looking Up with Laird. So my shows with TrippinB, and frankly, I've done MLS DraftKings shows with TrippinB for years. So anyway.
Okay.
So yeah.
Real quick, is that why he got the hug first?
Why he got the Orlando? Exactly why. That is exactly why TrippinB got the hug before you. You're right. You're right. Look at you still holding on to that.
I'll never forget.
ZM Star was the first one to notice that the title changed. But yeah, so we are going to have Chani on at some point. Don't worry. To be honest, we were just going to take like 60 minutes and berate him for not playing in the summer because it's just outrageous to even think about doing it. And so, but something came up and so he couldn't. So don't worry, everyone who's in the chat saying, where's Chani? He'll be back. Don't worry. Mike Baston, man down with COVID. Oh, Mike. More time in the garden, though. So you got that going for you. Anyway, hello, everyone. If you guys have not liked the stream, even though Aaron Walker has now called me Lairdinho, this is 3 days in a row now that I've been late. And I'm going to do what every good host does, and I'll blame my guests. They're the reasons that we were late. And so sorry for that. Johanneton said how much time Laird is going to be late should turn into a competition. I believe Alex Davidson won with the 4 minutes today. So congratulations. Oh, I like this. Padu Goal says random DNPs are real. That's a good one. Late scratch on Chani.
Actually, I think this lineup has 2 DNPs right now.
Touche. Sam is here. Sam Crowther says, I'm not here to talk about Charlotte for an hour. Good thing we started late, so it'll be less than an hour.
And we're not either.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point too. So yeah, Andy, have you? I can't even like begin to consider not playing in the summer, and so I was going to be like, hey, have you ever thought of? But like, of course, we've never thought about it. Why would you skip Sorare in the summer?
So I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here. And if you're, in Europe and you don't really care about Asian football and you don't really care about the MLS or America's football, why would you play in the summer?
Because you just do that. That's what you do on Sorare. You buy your K-League and J-League cards. You have no idea when they'll play. And you just hope for the best. That's what summer is all about. Hope and excitement. And when you get all these random DNPs, like the 2 we have today, you're just like, well, it's summer, whatever. And Daniel says best. It's because we're degenerates.
That's exactly why.
Yeah. We're investors.
Investors.
Not funny.
We love pain year round. I think it's a big part of it.
Right. Why would you want to only feel the DNP pain from August to May when you can also add June and July?
One of my favorite things about like playing in the summer is you have MLS who like that, which they're totally ridiculous and they're playing throughout an international break right now. And you get things like last night where I know service to air was like, wasn't Palacios supposed to travel to South America or wherever he plays?
Yes, he was.
And then you had Boanga, who nobody knew if he was on the plane or not.
Nobody knew.
And then he posted on Instagram way after the deadline. I think it was like last night or something. a picture of him on the plane. So
Oh.
I guess he did travel. I think.
Okay.
Right. I just love. Maybe not love is the right word, but it's just so fun. All of these horrible things are just so fun, right?
I will say that one of my new favorite things, which I think is obviously something that happens, actually, maybe it doesn't even happen to a lot of the European leagues, but the Instagram detective work to find out where players are when you like are not sure where they are, and you're like, oh, they just checked in from somewhere on Instagram. And so
I don't do it for like a lot of leagues, but in MX I do it a lot. Like I follow all my players on Instagram and MX because they'll share a lot of like training photos or just like other little tidbits that I feel like are helpful sometime. To change topic a little bit, Moldy said that I do agree with some of Chinese points from his recent video. When MLS is on during the night, and sometimes I can't sleep as I am too hyped for a Mukhtar or Zellerine goal, my partner is not impressed. I totally get that. More so from the like sleep depravity. Like if you have a goalkeeper going or a defender going, and it's like you wake up middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something, you look down at your phone and you're like, oh, 80th minute. We still got a clean sheet going.
yeah.
I can stay up for 10 minutes. It's 4 a.m., but I can stay up for 10 minutes and just, like check in every once in a while, and then I'll be good. I'll go back to bed. And then, you're up.
So that sort of happened to me 2 days ago. Yeah, Tuesday. I woke up at like 4:30. So I went to sleep and I was third in All-Star Rare Pro, and I needed were they even playing? Racing? Gimnasia? I don't know. I needed Argentinos to score. And I went to sleep at halftime and I was like, I'm not gonna like sweat this. And I decided at 4:45, I woke up, probably went to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my God, the Argentinos game. And I like checked my phone and I saw they scored and I was still in third, and I didn't go back to sleep after that. Because I'm just sitting there. I'm just laying in bed like, this is great.
Concedes in the 91st. You stay up for those 11 minutes and you get all the pain.
Yeah. That's not the pain that
and then you go back to bed pissed.
Right. Yeah. So I think we have TrippinB here, but
let's go.
We don't see him.
Oh, a black screen.
Oh,
TrippinB,
no.
can you even hear us?
The ghost.
I can hear you. Do you guys hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you. This feels like Nellis's podcast. Like you're a man of mystery.
The ghost of TrippinB is here. I'm still working on getting a better connection here where I'm at, guys. Thanks for the invite. I'll let you keep going. I do love that story though. That Argentinos game. Did the bust of the clean sheet help you for Velez or no?
I needed them to concede. But I needed Velez. That's who it was, Velez. I needed Velez to concede, and it was 0-0 at halftime. And I was like, I don't want to stay up. Like I was just expecting the pain of seeing the clean sheet, and I was like, I'm just going to sleep. So when I saw that they conceded, it was great. The problem I had is that I was basically sweating two outcomes. One was the clean sheet, and the other was Miguel Turen not having like 90 points, because the two guys, there were three people chasing me. One had Gaston Gomez, who was the goalie for Velez, and two guys had Turen super rares. So I was like, I saw that Velez conceded, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm like, oh no, but Argentinos had the clean sheet. So I had to like go back and check, and it all worked out. But I didn't go back to sleep. So I get the sleep depravity.
I was watching that game, and in the 70th minute, the announcers were like, oh, this is a 0-0. This is a 0. This is 0-0 no matter what. They were like bemoaning how horrible of a game it was. They were openly like complaining, yelling at the players, like, get up, do something. It was great. It's if you like Argentinian football. I'm going to jump off so I can get a better connection. I'll try to come back to you guys ASAP. Carry on. Sorry to interrupt with my poor connection issues.
No worries at all. It's actually quite funny that it's almost like he's reporting from a scene. we have like a reporter who's coming in and out. I'll be back in 10.
It's funny because there were like sirens too, so that like adds to the
That's another thing is that I think Velez conceded in like the 79th minute. So at some point that clean sheet was active, and like I would have fallen and I would have just been up, like angry and like I didn't want to do it. So yeah.
Did to change topics a little bit, did you by chance watch Major League Sorare this week?
Not this week, no.
Okay, it had I guess Draft Kicks was out, and Zardes fan Jake stepped in for him and just ripped Trippin to shreds. Like, he had 4 pages of notes about his gallery and why it was inefficient, and notes on how to fix it. And
that's helpful.
And Trippin was just like, no, I gotta keep my Charlotte guys. Like, he had his guys, and like I totally get where Trippin's coming from. Like, he has his guys that he loves, like Brad Stuver, and he just had his list of guys that he loves, and he's like, I'm not selling those guys, and I don't care if it affects, how much I win. It's more fun to root for the guys that I want to root for.
This is great. I should bring this up when he's here, but he's not here. But I need to find out, is this UKZ Sorare, or do you use it like UX Sorare, excuse me. But anyway, just finished Tripp's vid, great content. And Daniel Cooper said, I'm having Trippin B inceptions right now. I have his podcast paused to watch this live. Thank you, Daniel. And then I'll go finish that up, seeing his gallery get ripped to pieces. I do remember the first Zardes fan appearance was great. So I'll have to catch up on that one. Moldy said Zardes Club went to town on him. It was a great watch.
He really did. He let him have it.
Oh, UK. Oops, hold on. Brilliant watch. UK, but what's the Z? I'm from the UK, but I don't know. Pedagol. Actually, I wanted to bring up 2 comments today. One was, anyone know why there wasn't any Legends competition last weekend? I don't think they do Legends in the summer. I only know this because I bought a bunch of Summer Legends last year, and they didn't do anything. But the other one was actually to go back to what we were talking about before. Patago said, I know nothing about Asian football, but 3 weeks ago, I got a soul stack for U23. And from my own experience, that's how you win. That's how you get a podium in U23 Euro Pro.
Look at that.
Baek Jong Bum and Lee Han Bum. It's very simple. It's a simple game in the summer, guys. You just have to get the guys that score the most, and they happen to play.
Is easy.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I have no idea if we'll get Trippin B back, but I do want to. I'm just going to ask him about this ripping that he got. So, Patago said, I got the same duo. Yeah, see, it's what you do. Joe Ducey said, aren't there only 2 Summer Legends, Pirlo plus 1? There are definitely more. Javier Mascherano's 1. Because I own him, I own Pirlo, and who was the third one I got? Don't they have somebody from
one.
League MX? Yeah, I forget who it is.
Yeah.
Chicharito?
Atlas guy, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know who that. And frankly,
Marquez.
We have enough Atlas players that we know that you don't need the legend for that one to get any good points.
You don't want the Atlas midfielder? Could be little Brian Lozano, right?
Lozano? Yeah, I'll just play Lozano, the real legend himself. Rafa Marquez, that's his. Yeah. Thank you to Germ and Mike Baston for that. Oh, Maradona Bocas. That's right. I forgot about that.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix my lighting in here. It's just god awful, and now I'm like a demon.
Yeah, I kind of like the thing that we have, because like everybody can see me, and then you were getting dark, and then Trippin B had no screen whatsoever. But now you've turned this off. So anyone who's listening, everything seems normal to you, I'm sure. But man, it is an absolute shit show on the video today.
Not a lie at all.
Yeah. UKZ said Trippin B took it well. To be fair, Zardes didn't take any prisoners. And Charlie saying, when Trippin B, I would like a refund. Refunds will be given for all of the fees that everybody paid to watch this video. Don't worry. Anyway, what are we supposed to talk about? Sorare in the summer, right? So yeah, no legends as far as I know. You just have to use them in the academy where you can actually win money, as opposed to in the regular Legends competitions, which are almost impossible to win if you are playing the limited ones.
Do you normally play Legends competitions?
I sold all my limiteds. Excuse me, I sold all my Legends with my limiteds, and so no, I don't play anymore. Johannaton said, Laird, is it daylight in your room? It is daylight. Yes. I have a window right here. And then some sort of light here that's not equal to the light that's coming in from the window. We'll work on it, guys. We'll work on it.
I'll just
Mike Baston's asking for likes for this one. If I could like a comment, I would like that one, Mike. That's a good one. Anyway. Moldy said the 6 minutes added on in the Soul game last weekend was diabolical. Techers had made a thread on his U23 defensive stack, which should be a fun follow. Yeah, I don't think I even paid attention to that game, so I saw that they conceded, and I was like, "Oh, all right." And then, when I saw how bad it was, because I had a Soul stack in All-Star Super Rare, and it didn't work out. Mike said I almost down thumbed.
Oh,
which is not a phrase I'd ever heard before.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not. I shouldn't have even said it. Because ZM Star said that you were performing a ritual to summon the MLS demon.
Trying to bring back all my St. Louis boys from injuries.
From the dead, yeah.
Yeah.
International break came at a good time for them. That's all.
Surface asks, what are your thoughts on the Sorares?
Sorares.
Did I say that right, by the way?
I was going to ask you, and you said it, and I think that... So I actually haven't said it out loud until just now. Sorares. Sorares.
Sorares.
Sorares. I don't know.
Sorares?
Sorares. What's up, Quinny? Thanks for joining. Zarchi said it probably sounds better in a French accent. Let's be honest. That seems a very un-French word. Like, I'm very bad at accents, but I'm not sure I even.
I mean, we know
what should have worked out the name a bit.
We know what it really is. It's like the Dundies from The Office.
Yes,
and
the number of people who replied with that GIF is like that's all people said.
The one problem though is if you're gonna like rip off The Office, we need some like proper like actual like awards, like whitest t-shirt sneakers. Like Kevin won the guy that stunk up the bathroom the most. We need like best mustache or like player with the most DNPs or like let's think outside the box a little bit here.
Agreed. Which they might, you never know.
I doubt it.
Scosmo is saying Sorer eyes, which I think is a pretty good. And then Quinny's saying Sorare like Ferrari. But it's Sorares, right? Sorare. I don't know.
Sure.
But anyway, you can vote on your favorite things for Sorare.
Did you vote yet?
It's cool, I think.
Can we watch you vote?
We cannot vote yet. Oh, it starts today. Oh,
I already voted.
You did? Oh.
Yeah. And I was very upset that people were voting for other players and other midfielders in the Jupiler League that were not Hans Van Aken. I mean, he is the Lord.
Okay, so here, what was the most underrated card this season? None of these. Okay.
This is Jupiler League only.
Who was the most consistent performer? Like, you tell me. This is not an opinion. Who's the most consistent? Who is it? I don't have any of these guys either.
What does consistent mean? Like
exactly.
Closest to their average or closest to their predicted score or something?
Yeah, I don't know. CM Star said sounds like the Sorries.
Come on, take a stand here, make a vote. Let's
at
see
least
it.
Chat GPT at first. Yeah, okay, yeah, let me vote. Was that the first one? All right. So the most underrated. I'm gonna vote for Harriman's because you used to have his unique.
Oh, okay. Sound and logical reasoning.
Yep. I used to own a Gianni Bruno. I could have voted there, but I guess not. Toby Alderweireld won the title for Antwerp, so he's the most consistent from the one game that I partially watched. Who's the biggest breakout? I think it's this Boniface guy. Everybody's going to say gift, but I think he's a fraud. Sorry, Zarchi.
I don't think he's a fraud. I just think that like he only did it for like a quarter of the season, right? Or was it?
Yeah.
Was it half the season?
Right. He also didn't. He didn't get minted with like forever. Which car was the best U23? See, I won a U23 from the Jubilar League from a podium, and he's not here.
I think this one just has to be De Kuiper, right?
Cosmo agreed with me. So De Kuiper, I will vote for De Kuiper because I don't really care. But De Kuiper leaving is hopefully going to help my Nicholas Madsen card. And then, yeah,
The Lord.
Like people were voting for Teddy. Oh, come on, people.
You know, it's the Gator guy over there with his multi accounts, just like Teddy.
Yeah. You people are frauds. Voting 41% of 3,000 people voting for Teddy Schumas. And Trezor, come on. This is absurd. Charlie says Teddy over Hans. Have you guys learned nothing from playing Sorare? Anyway, I did see that Dan mentioned on Twitter that they want. How did he put it? Because somebody asked if they were going to have like special edition cards for these guys, and he was basically like, "Yes, we want to," but and it's like, like why? He pretty much blamed it on the clubs, but like, why wouldn't the clubs? Like, what's the downside to that?
Well, probably not a lot of downside, but they probably have to get the card created and finalized and like approved. And
it's hard.
Yeah, I guess that's why we won't see bushiest mustache or I do feel like there's a Gary V spinoff in here somewhere where it's like, you use alliteration and maybe an animal name or something, and it's like, I don't know.
Great. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. What are the leagues again? It's the Big Five, Eredivisie, and Jupiler. Okay.
Do you think there'll be a award ceremony? Like all these guys will come to the Sorare office.
No, it's like Web3. So they'll have like Nicola in an office or like on a stage, and then like holograms of these guys coming up and like accepting their award. Maybe it'll be in the metaverse.
No comment.
I don't know. I don't know. I hope they do this for the end of the MLS season in Argentina and all them, because I think they deserve it. Sorry, I'm looking over to the side. Skazma said the issue is money, which like, isn't it more money for everybody?
You tell me.
Trippin B.
There he is.
Moved. Oh, he's inside.
I had to come inside, fellas. Sorry, the connection was too bad. How y'all doing? Sorry to be so late. What can you do?
Skazma said we're going to use Trippin's internet to dial into a Zoom call with Nicholas.
Shoot, how is it now? Is it any better?
You're doing great.
You're doing, you look great, man.
You're a lot brighter than I am.
Yeah, I was trying to go, since the topic was summertime, so nothing like Sorare in the summer, guys. Thanks for the invite. Sorry to be late. I tried to do a little outdoor setting, didn't have my Wi-Fi set up, turned into a huge, big disaster, and I apologize to everyone, especially y'all, because I was so grateful to get an invite to come in and talk to you guys. It's been a wonderful thing.
Charlie says you look great.
Thank you, Charlie. You're the man, Charlie. Appreciate you.
While you were working on getting here, a lot of people in the chat were talking about how great the latest episode of Trippin B getting burned was, and everyone, I've not seen it yet. I know what I'm going to do as soon as this ends, but everyone was just kind of curious how it felt to get flamed on your own show.
That was great. I mean, it's funny. It takes a special man to sit there and sit through someone. I fancy myself a fairly smart person, and obviously, like, when you play games, you kind of think of, your success in the game can be a measure of your intelligence, or how well you can pick things up. That's something I've done my whole life. So yeah, when you meet up with another smart person like Jake was on the show, who has, ideas that are proving, he's had better results than me. So I really couldn't it was, if I had wanted to push back too hard, it would have been scoreboard. So, and I don't take any shame in that, because the other thing Jake said, which was important, was we're really all just here to have fun. If you're playing Sorare for anything other than fun, then disappointment is around the corner. But it felt fine. Like I said, I try to live my life as ego-free as possible. It doesn't always come off successfully, but I have a lot of self-esteem, but I don't have a lot of self-importance and self-righteousness, hopefully, on my best days. So it was fun to listen. He gave me some good ideas. I do think his basic idea was something. The funny thing was, everything he was counseling me is stuff that I would counsel other people. It's the classic example of physician heal thyself, in terms of I couldn't, if I went in and saw someone's gallery full of a bunch of old cards that weren't full of any SO5 utility, I would say bundle those up, sell them at a loss, and just do what you can and get a useful card out of it. And but I can't take my own message.
You mean Harrison Affle cards is not a good idea?
Yeah,
by the way, I have one I can sell you.
There's a reason for every one of those Harrison Affles. I can tell you that much right now. None of them came to the gallery by accident, but usually it's because of jersey mints and my stupid. So you guys tell me, Lairdie, we did the collection episode a year ago when I first really started getting this Charlotte collection together, and I went through the checklist at that time, and I explained a little bit of this to his artist fan club last night. Is it necessary for my Charlotte collection to have older big head cards from the previous clubs of guys that were on Charlotte's first season inaugural team? It's a tough eternal question for the collection.
If you want them, then yes.
I actually don't think he wants them, but he thinks he needs them to justify that. So
exactly.
So they're not.
I don't.
They're legit not Charlotte cards, and so I can understand.
Right. It's like Holmes Crew Affle big head.
Right, but they're just not Charlotte cards.
Super rare.
I think those are what separate you from the other collectors.
I hope
you
so.
were willing to buy those cards and keep those cards. And so when everyone's like, see, I have the best Charlotte collection, you're like, no.
Yeah.
I have these big heads before Charlotte even existed. I liked these.
Step into my office. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Which Baston in the chat says is a police interrogation room. No, that's not true. But I am at an undisclosed location.
I did love this line from Charlie that us Sorare players are better off inside. Outside doesn't like us.
Yeah, 100%. Outside was not working for me, so I had to scramble to an inside location for sure.
You're like vampires. We're in the sun, and we're just like, ugh.
Yeah. I am going to take some of his artist fan club's advice in terms of just taking the loss on a lot of guys in my collection that are down, the bottom of my roster prices page on Sorare Data, and just and see what I can get. I might move out of limiteds, but let me ask you this. This is something I said on the show that you'll hear when you go back and listen, Andrew. Did I miss the boat on selling out of limiteds? I feel like you kicked off the wave, or at least were an early adopter of the wave of hey, I'm selling off all my limiteds. Now everyone's done it, and I feel like I missed the boat.
No, I don't think it's ever too late. Yeah. I also think that, is there a difference between getting 12 cents on the dollar versus 9 cents? No, I'm in no position to tell someone else to sell all their stuff. So, no.
I'm not asking for. Come on, I know you don't dole out financial advice on this show. We're just here to talk about Sorare in the summer and the Burger Club, right? But yeah, for the crown, baby. This is the squad. What a squad it is. If there's some new organization going on with this page, by the way. I've started to put the 2023s up at the very top, sort of by scarcity. So all my 23s, and then it goes back to the 2022 soap super rares, I think, at the bottom of this. Yeah. So I don't know. Just this is how I amuse myself, is change. This is like rearranging your room when you're a teenager and you're bored, and you're like, I'm gonna move my bed to that corner and the dress over here. This is what I did with my Charlotte FC squad page recently. But I did go down a little bit further. So this was kind of cool. So I had a Hani Mukhtar, right? and I traded it for a big head Hanny Mukhtar from 2020, as you can see. And then it turns out that Adrian Zendejas, Danny Rios, and Derek Jones, 2020, all Nashville SC. So by getting those guys from my Charlotte squad, they actually boosted my Hanny an extra percentage point or two via the collection bonus. So I have a great Nashville 2020 collection without even trying. So
I love that. That's fantastic.
Thank God for Danny Rios yet again.
I was thinking that this reminded me of rearranging baseball cards in like the sleeve, like those 9 like card page sleeves that they had. I used to do that all the time.
Big time.
I went to this page because I was like, oh, I need one of Trippin B's cards for the thumbnail. And I was going through and I'm like, man, this is like a really cool collection. And it didn't even like dawn on me that it led with 2023. Like I was just like, I'm used to just seeing these cards all the time. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's got like all of them. And I'm like, oh wait, he has like all of them. And it just like keeps going back. Yeah. And I agree with Surface here. I wish I loved anything in life as much as Trippin loves his Charlotte collection. So no, I don't. At this point, for sure, you cannot get rid of the big heads.
Well, and shout out to you because Christmas came for Trippin FC when those each scarce, quote unquote, what do we call them? Those scarcity metallicity of the Global Cup cards. All 4 of those carols were gifted to Trippin from Lairdinho. So
that is correct. That is correct. But you almost ruined it. I remember you did ruin it.
I did ruin it because I bought one like a couple days before. I bought myself I think a gold, and then no, I didn't spring for the platinum.
If anyone should have a rain, what did you just call it? Metallistic.
Metallic. All the metals. Yeah.
All the metals, whatever. If anyone should have a metallistic rainbow.
So we'll call that heavy metal. And then if you only have the bronze, you're like adult contemporary alternative metal. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, definitely that. How many cards in this collection do you use every week that you think you would use if they did not play for Charlotte?
Oh, great question. Swiderski unique, yes, every week, obviously. He's like, I always build that lineup first, whether I should or not. It's for fun. Carujo's finally back. Carujo's unique, my first ever Charlotte unique. I bought him my most expensive card I've ever bought, 2.1 ETH. Finally back from a year-long knee surgery. Should be starting soon. So those 2 I will be using all summer, the rest of the summer. Kerwin Vargas, super rare in the bottom left corner of the screen there, is brand new. And finally we'll go in. So Jakey, Zarda's fan club tried to convince me to start playing under 23s in the summer. And so if I do that, then Vargas, super rare and rare, could be the forward for both rare and rare pro and U23. We'll see. Copetti I would be using. He's hurt, but he's back soon. A lot of the young guys, obviously. So they're kind of arranged. If you go, they're arranged by position and then SO5 utility within the position. So like Vargas is the first forward, then Copetti, then Ajimar. So it kind of goes down the line of like how valuable they are to me. So that kind of answers your question just graphically, I guess, if you scroll down. But yeah.
How often do you think you're going to change this?
Like move guys around?
Yeah.
More periodically, probably quarterly. You could say whenever I'm bored. Not at the scheduled time.
All right. I have a rainbow squad, and so I like seeing like all of the ones. Like you would have all your Swiderskis together. Like I like seeing that as well. Yeah.
I could do it that way too. I was thinking there's a King Carol group. If you go to my squads, there's a King Carol squad that you can go to. Just to get as completely self-indulgent as we
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Since we're being self-indulgent, it's not all. I appreciate the love. It's not all about me. I want to know how you guys are feeling about the status of Burger Club, where we're at with that, and where we go with that. Are we taking it somewhere? Do we get some type of Burger Club only meetup? Your burger is your invite. In the spirit of the original NFT revolution. What do y'all think?
I think we should have like a cosplay event where we dress up as hamburgers and we all meet up and get together and, play So Rare together. It'll be like Comic-Con, but for Burger
Sounds
Club.
amazing.
It's not really like furries. It's more of like a, I don't know. It's its own
Burgies.
thing.
Yeah, we're just burgies.
We're just
Burgies. Oh boy.
TrippinB, are you not an OG?
So I must have missed the freaking OG by a handful of comments. I don't know what happened because they took away 100 so comments from me, but too many of them, I guess, were Global Cup. I thought I was going to get the OG and I didn't, so sadly, but I didn't want it.
I mean, nobody needs the OG badge, but the banner, I think, is
I would be using the banner with my burger, and that'd be great. Yeah, like you guys are kind of like, it's like the Masons or Scientologists. You guys are kind of like third, fourth, Quasar level Burger Club guys, and I'm just kind of like, peon burger guy. But I do have the burger at the very least. So
there's no peon burger. I mean, everyone else are the peons.
all have been washed and made holy in the cleansing spirit of the burger for sure.
We all know secrets about Sorare.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a treasure map on the back of Nicholas's.
Oh, 100%. It's in the onions. Yeah. If you arrange the onions in a certain way on the burger, it'll take you into a map to the cover.
I can't show it on the screen, but if I click on this burger, then I know which cards are coming next on the auctions before anybody else does.
Yeah. Don't show that. Please do not show that.
No,
not on the live stream.
It would make so many people angry.
I think we lost.
Guys, it's been fun kicking.
I don't think we
with you.
lost
I actually
Trippin's
do have
mic,
to
but I
bounce.
feel like
I know
he's
this
on.
is kind of a weird guest appearance. I'm really super grateful for the invite, and it was so fun to come laugh with y'all. Sorare, there's nothing like Sorare in the summer. Collect your team, go MLS, get roasted. Thank you. You guys are the best.
Oh, there we go.
He gone.
So the other thing, TrippinB said he had to leave early, which would have been fine had he showed up on time. I mean, I guess technically he showed up on time. He just couldn't connect. But anyway, thank you to TrippinB for coming on.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mike Basson said dibs on Hamburglar for the cosplay, which that's fair. That's fair.
There's a Culvers mascot?
Who is calling? What's Culvers?
Oh, excuse me, what? It's just like
a
Wisconsin
chain.
thing. Oh, okay. It's like an ice cream cone.
That's not. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen here. This is the Culvers mascot.
Yeah. You don't have Culvers in the Northeast?
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. It must be like Midwest, and I know it started in like either Wisconsin or Minnesota or something. I think it did.
I just went into Google and asked where there was a Culvers near me. Where is this? Sorry, this is riveting.
They're like they're famous for their butter burgers, and I don't know what that actually means. I think it's just like a steak burger is all it is. And then they've got really good ice cream. And then they always have like random stuff like, I don't know, fish and chips, and I just call them chips. I meant French fries. Stuff like that.
The closest one is 125 miles from me.
Worth it.
Which is actually closer than I would have expected. Johanneton said this show is a mess. And frankly, I'm offended, but also I'm not sure what you expected during an international break.
Is it really an international break when MLS is running?
I lost some of my MLS cards, so yes. Actually, I was talking to my son today about going to a New York City FC game, and he was like, "Oh, they don't play this weekend." I'm like, "Oh, it's the international break," and I was like, "You know how bad it is for a team when they only lose one player for international duty." And I think Maxime Chanot is the only one that they lost who mattered. Yeah. I actually said to him, I was like, "Oh, and Sean Johnson," and I was like, "Oh, wait, Sean Johnson doesn't even play for them anymore."
Yeah.
ZM Star said this episode is the blooper reel at the end of the year that you show in the office. At least I don't have to put anything together now.
I mean, we might be up for a Sorare.
Ooh.
Who knows? Right?
I feel like like, is there any way if they open that up to a vote that Nellis doesn't win? And not because he has the best Sorare content, but just because like it's Nellis and he has the most followers.
He's definitely the most well known. And
Yeah.
no offense to anyone in the content space, but Nellis is also like the most talented, and like he's just really, really good at what he does.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also taking a month off, so maybe this is where we catch up.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. So one of the things that I was going to point out with ZM Star said Nellis wins because he's the highest paid. That's an interesting point. Yeah. And German is now calling him Mr. Sorare, which I think is still Nicola. Do you think Nicola is at some point like we got to calm this Nellis guy down?
I think Nicholas is like daddy or like king, like
That's fair.
Nellis can be Mr. Sorare.
Okay, that's fair.
But Nicholas is his daddy.
One of the things I was going to bring up with Chani, which I'll just bring up now, was like he says he's not playing Sorare in the summer, but he's still like scouting players and like looking to buy, and like he's still going in and out of cards. Like he's not playing SO5, but he is still spending like hours a day on Sorare. And
he's spending a lot of money in the summer. Like I saw he bought Manuel Neuer. There were like 3 or 4 cards he has just recently bought in the past week that I was like, okay, he
bought some Liverpool guys. I know he got Odysseus, Justin Bilo.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he has some sort of good Liverpool. Yeah, he's got some Liverpool cards because he's buying Origi, Nico Williams, Wijnaldum, Thiago. Joe Ducey said, honest question, since I love Nellis, but how much is his genius versus Alex's genius? So that's a phenomenal question. And I think they're just both geniuses.
Yeah.
Alex is really, really good, though. I think people underestimate how difficult it is to do, as crazy as it sounds. They're like, because they're like sending Nellis to like VIP sections of these amazing soccer matches, football matches. But that's like everything in that video, like his personality and everything, like that stuff is not easy. Like you go to a stadium and try to like film yourself, like doing what he does. And the first thing you're going to feel like such an idiot. Like,
right.
Like just doing that. I love this analogy from Germ. Alex is the Steve Jobs and Nellis is the iPhone.
Well, Alex is the Steve Jobs and, well, wait a minute. Somebody's got to be Wozniak here, right? So maybe it's actually Alex. Alex is Wozniak and Nellis is Steve Jobs taking all the credit for the iPhone when it was really Wozniak in the back doing all the work.
I like that. And to pull it all together here, Moldy said, I want to see Trippin B versus Harrison a Fool in the name as many Charlotte players as possible game.
I want to see that too. By the way, while we were on stream, I sent Trippin B a offer for I have a Harrison Apple, and I sent it to him, and I was asking for a George Cox, and he declined it.
Why?
I don't know. I guess he has too many Harrison Apples. I don't know.
And Cox is like a usable card, isn't it?
I don't know. It was worth like 0.01.
Oh, huh. I don't know. Chani is here. Said, sorry, I couldn't make it, guys, but everyone's stable and fine for now, which is great news, Chani. And we'll have Chani back. Don't worry, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And I promise, I don't want to promise this, actually. I was going to say, I promise it won't be such a shit show, but I'm sure Chani will keep us on task. But
he can help. He can try.
Yeah, he can try. Yeah. Maybe that'll be a new thing that we do. It'll be like a game where we have a guest come on and be like, you try to keep us on task here.
Yeah.
Which really, that should be my job, but sorry. I think tomorrow's off topic may be more organized than this conversation.
Really?
Yeah. I have a lot of things to say.
What are you talking about tomorrow? Are you gonna talk about prizes?
A little bit. I'm like not. That's not the point. But I am going to talk about them because I think they need to be spoken about, but not in the way that everybody thinks.
Interesting.
Germ said if Chani joined now, his appearance would still be longer than Trippin B. So we gave Trippin B like no time to like consider whether he should come on or not. Like I asked him within an hour of us starting, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll figure it out." And I think it was a bigger task, but I appreciate his effort to make it work. That's all. Joe Ducey said, being a mess feels perfectly on brand for discussing summer play and the random DNP syndrome. I mean, I have to remember that not everybody who watches our show has watched like forever. I assume so. I'm always amazed when they're like, "Oh, I just found your show." But anyway, international breaks this is the international break content. Like if you go back to previous ones, this is basically it. And I don't know why I'm saving like a serious conversation for tomorrow when I'm literally by myself, but I'm doing it. That's all.
Have you looked at prize pools for this summer? Not really.
I don't
saw
look
Sean
ever.
won. I saw Sean won Kimmich, and they're not playing.
Yes.
So can we win European cards all summer, or is it just like is it the cool down the first 2 weeks you can win the good cards?
That's fine. I would literally talk to my son about this today because I mentioned that I won, or that I finished second in All-Star Rare Pro this past week, and he was like, "Who'd you win?" And I was like, "Cucho," and he's like, "Who?" And I was like, "Yeah, exactly." But I went in because I know Sean won Kimmich for winning All-Star Rare. And the winner of All-Star Rare Pro, if I remember correctly, was Courtois, who also does not play in the summer. And so I think like most of the rewards are America and Asia, but not all of them. But the two the two good ones that I have won recently just happen to be America. So I think you can win them all summer. Yes. I just don't think you necessarily, I think you have a better chance of winning America cards. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Pedigo said, why is it so hard for Sorare and Sorare to update the international players list with the upcoming games? So the reason why it's hard is because we get it from the same provider and they don't update them that fast. That's why. We talked about it on office hours this week. Maxime and I did 2 days ago.
It's
so you can go back.
Yes.
We went through it. Yeah. But basically Opta doesn't care. Like they score games. And so as long as the rosters are good before the game, they're fine. Whereas we're like, no, I need a roster 3 months ahead of time. And it's like, and we're not going to go manually do it for all of these teams. So that's why.
What's the secret Sorare data page that has all the roster moves?
It's players-moves.
Okay.
Johanneton said we should get squads before deadlines. Johanneton, I mean, if you really want the list, Johanneton has a watch list that has all at least the U23, U21 players. I guess the ones from for the Nations League stuff is not necessarily up, but there's that. Where was I going with that? Oh, Johanneton said I have one for seniors too, which I imagine are senior players and not like senior citizens like me. Let me pull it up so everybody can see it here, except those listening at home, and you can't see anything. So if you go to the watch list on the overview page and you scroll down, trending watch list, Johanneton is right here. First two. Well done. Great work. Not legal or financial advice, I'm sure. Andre saying, is there any Slovakian national team experts here? I cannot find if Lobotka will play. Andy, it's right up your alley. What do you think?
I'm thinking he's going to play. I don't know who Lobotka is, to be honest.
Can you name one Slovakian national team player?
No.
That's disappointing.
I think if you showed me the roster, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know these guys, but
Yeah. But you didn't happen to know that they were.
No.
Yeah. Slobodka. Oh, Skriniar. There you go. Panko, Vavro. Yeah, you know these guys. Suslov.
I really don't.
Versovsky. Germs. Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I know that one.
There it is. Moldy said, back to the hot topic of reward swaps. 2 of the super rares won in the K-League special now lie in the Sorare account. Neither of these rewards were injured players and fit in the new swaps criteria. So if there is one card that I know of, then I will know. Hold on a second. Who was it? I think it was Big Lars Velwick, Velv something. God, that Enzo card is so great. Where are we here? Junimano. Yeah, so this Lars Veldwick. So the reason why, David Alves says Doncic is Slovenian, not Slovakian. So apologies. So yeah, it was this Lars Velwick and Junimano. Neither of them were in the prize pool. That's why they were swappable. Like that's actually one of the swap rules, is if you get a card that is not in the prize pool, you can swap it. And so we did. They did. Mike Basson said, is Hamsik still going, but he is retired. I know that because somebody bought his card recently for a collection bonus. Nepenthes did. Excellent Twitter follow if anybody wants to follow him on Twitter. Boy, this summer is wild.
So we didn't really get into the ease of winning in the summer. Competition.
But I get 2 podiums and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's really easy to win in the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not wrong.
So, I mean, obviously it's easier to win in the summer. You kind of wanted a weird time though, where there's still a little bit of Europe running too. And you used some European cards that were kind of crossover cards to win, right?
My U23 one had 3 European cards, all last games of the season. And
right. But they were all like promotion or relegation games or some kind of super important Europa type games.
Yeah, one of them. So Dwight McNeely and Everton had to win to avoid relegation. Yeah. So like that helped. The Melly Muhlenstein, I think, was one. I don't think Vitesse had anything. I don't know. And actually, I have a super Robert Lubicic, and Zagreb had nothing to play for, and there was like possible that he wasn't going to play, but I YOLO'd it, and that's why you sometimes you got to YOLO.
Hey, they can't bench everyone, right?
Right. No, well, like literally, they can't. So.
Yeah, I do think the international stuff has me worried. Like I was building lineups today for this weekend, and I'm checking Sorare data's confidence ratings on these guys, and then I check Plays Harper, I'm sorry, and like I just dig through, and like sure, João Felix is 80% to start, but what does that even mean? I don't think he's 100% on Sorare data either. It's like, I don't know. I am liking the guys with two games in the same game week. Like Declan Rice, I think has 2 games. I think that there's some goalkeepers I have that Jan Sommer, because there's a question on whether he'll start for Switzerland or not. Because Kobik, didn't the Dortmund guy or
Kobel?
Yeah, they're thinking he might get a game, but I don't know. 2 games there, maybe they'll just split them.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, the new rule is great for that. Like the double game week that you just take the higher score. It's like it makes sense.
Hamilton's saying he'll start the game against Romania. Nice.
Charlie said Malta and North Macedonia will be a pounding for England. Wow. Bold. I don't know. Yeah, I hate internationals because I have no, like, I'm running out. My all-star rare team has 4 MLS guys and João Felix.
Yeah.
Maybe he should come to MLS.
Who, João Felix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
I mean, if it's good enough for the best player in like ever, what is
You
João
just
Felix
upset
doing?
my dog. She's like, I'm getting out of here.
I'm out of here.
That
She's like, I've listened to 55 minutes of stupid, but this has finally crossed the line.
I mean, we might see some fun MLS transfers. I just hope they're not all super old guys like Jordi Alba and Sergio
Busquets,
and
Suarez.
I mean, it just kind of like we already have like that. I don't know. People already refer to us as the retirement league and kind of like make fun of the MLS in that way.
Mhm.
You're just further like cementing that if you just keep signing these guys.
Yeah, no, totally. The Mickey Fu said it's fun to look in the lineup builder to see some of my Europeans already returning in game week 391.
I assume that's Belgium.
381. 391, I think, is like Croatia. And actually, I was looking at what was I reading? There was some article on ESPN, probably about Messi. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But they had like this little graphic on the inside, like important dates. And it was all like when leagues are returning. And the first one was the Premier League, like August 14th or something. And I'm like, there are a ton of more important leagues that return before this. What are we doing here? Where's Croatia? Where's the Eredivisie? Like, come on, guys.
I always feel like Jupiler League starts really super early.
Does it?
It's like last week of July or something, or it has been before.
Oh, man. What is this midweek?
They may not even have schedules out yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they do. Mike said Croatia and Austria. Oh, Austria was another early one. The only bummer about Austria is the like 4-month break they take in the middle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What does my all-star rare pro team look like for the last week of July? Do I mean? Oh yeah, there's Croatia. There we go. Big lubes right there. There should be, Jonathan said there should be qualifiers for Champions League and stuff. Yep. And then Mike said fewer teams in Jupiler this season, which is a bummer. I'm just waiting for these Liga MX guys, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's kind of what I'm waiting on too. They just give me a lot more versatility.
For sure.
Because get all of my America stuff going at once. But, we'll make do. We'll make do until the end of July or June, end of June, early July.
Right. Andy, where did that go? Would you rather play in game week 391? Would you rather play Carlos Heel away to the Red Bulls or Lucas Zelarayan home against St. Louis City SC?
Give me Zelarayan. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm never ever gonna choose Gil ever.
But even against your own club?
Yeah.
Okay. Man of principles. I like it.
That game week, I'll be playing a Zelarayan and I won't be playing a Gil. So
fair enough. Have we beaten this one to death?
let's see here. We talked about the Sorares. We talked about a little bit of international break. What else did we talk about?
Collecting.
I don't know. Oh, collecting. Yes, of course. We talked about Burger and Comic-Con, our meetup that's coming up, so that'll be fun.
I mean, that should be SorareCon. Like Nellis, maybe that's why Nellis is taking some time. He's taking time off from content, but he's actually just planning SorareCon.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to have to buy some sort of shirt with a hamburger on it now.
My daughter has a hat that's just a hamburger.
Yeah, I should buy one of those too.
I might have to see if it fits me.
Yeah. Yeah. UKZ said, I've enjoyed tonight. Cheers, lads. See, it's the Mickey Food. Nellis V. Charlie said, didn't Nellis buy the SorareCon domain or something? That's exactly why I brought it up. He did. SorareCon.com or something like that. Sorare.con.
I have a feeling Sorare is never going to approach him to buy that, and they're just going to be like, yeah, we'll just call it something else.
I bet they could just call it SorareCon and just be like, oh, yeah, you just go to sorare.com/SorareCon.
Yeah.
And Nellis will be like,
or that.
But just buy my URL. Anyway. Yeah, so hard-hitting Sorare analysis for you all today. Thank you.
We'll have a really serious topic next week. I'm going to be, like coming up with something. I'm going to be working on that this week. So something hard-hitting.
I think we might. Well, maybe we'll have Chani next week. Not that he's not hard-hitting, but
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie said in before Sorare offers Nellis 125% in cards instead of cash. I like that.
Or they might offer him like a VIP experience to rip off the names of all the Napoli players with Oshiman or something.
Yeah, for real. He's met Danny Pareo, so I'm just not even sure what they can offer him at this point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. One last question. Audrey said, Andrew, which is your favorite? Champion Europe Rare Pro or All-Star Rare Pro? I don't even play Champion Europe anything. So I guess All-Star.
Well, there was that one time that you played Champion Europe.
I did, but I only just kind of competed. I didn't compete. And so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what I plan on doing all summer?
Not playing Champion Europe?
No, I'm just going to compete.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to compete. I'm going to just compete.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Fine. It'll be fine because it's summer and we can all get podiums in the summer, so it's fine.
Literally anybody can podium in the summer. That's why. Thank you to everyone for joining us. If you are unlike Mike Baston and you're willing to thumb up the video, please do so. Thumbs down. Just if you don't have something nice to click, don't click at all. So yeah, there's that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with Off Topic, except I have topics. It's just a matter of how much I stay on them. We'll see. But very serious stuff tomorrow, thanks to some questions that I got, including one from Nep. I think that was simply like, what are you trying to get out of Sorare? So I'm going to discuss that tomorrow. No motivational speeches, Mike, so don't worry about it. If you don't need any motivation, don't tune in. And then back next week with all of our stuff, and maybe Chani, or at least some sort of hard-hitting SorareAndrews episode. Thank you, everyone. Good luck this weekend.